She is a trained medical professional, a hospital administrator, and a bold entrepreneur who decided to create a completely new health vertical in India. Dr. Reema Nadig.
We have quality manual, we have regular audits, we have quality department. Processes has to be followed, but that process needs change repeatedly.
That's such a vivid picture, that's such a vivid image that you portrayed. It's rare to hear someone trace their journey back to such an exact moment. That's impressive.
One more thing that we keep in mind, keeping the processes fluid is what has been told, you do.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to FaceTime with Leaders, powered by Directors Institute, World Council of Directors. I'm your host, Sunny Pancholi, and today we are diving into a space most of us don't think about until life forces us to: aging, dignity, and care beyond the hospital walls. Our guest today isn't just building a company, she is building a movement. She is a trained medical professional, a hospital administrator, and a bold entrepreneur who decided to create a completely new health vertical in India. As co-founder and Group Chief Operating Officer at LifeBridge Senior Care Private Limited, she has redefined senior living, elder care, and elder tech by creating senior living communities, specialized centers for post-hospitalization rehab, palliative care, dementia, and Alzheimer's support, and even bridging care into people's homes. Before Kites, she has worn many hats, from setting up and commissioning hospitals to leading large teams where she drove award winning patient service initiatives. She has also worked with cutting edge medical devices, operationally scaling complex organizations, and leading processes in healthcare like a maestro. But here's the part that really inspires me. She did not just chase success, she built something deeply human where healthcare meets heart care. Dr. Reema Nadig, it's such an honor to have you with us. How are you feeling today?
Right. Honored to be here too. Thank you so much for having me here, Sunny.
Looking forward to a great conversation ahead.
Yes, same here. Looking forward to it.
All right. Dr. Reema, resumes tell us what you have done, and stories tell us who you are. So, let's start at the very beginning. Because, every bold idea usually comes from a moment of clarity or sometimes chaos. And your career has been a fascinating evolution: doctor, administrator, hospital leader, and now entrepreneur. So, could you please share your career journey with us?
Absolutely, Sunny. So I think I would add the third word to it, not clarity, not chaos. I mean, whenever we are growing up, I don't think any one of us have any kind of clarity, right?
Yeah.
And what I found was opportunity. So when I decided to be a doctor, of course, at our times there were three professions that we had to choose from. It was either being a doctor, an engineer, or a teacher. And being the youngest of the three girls, my parents wanted one of us to become a doctor. The elder two escaped. Uh, I was the one to become a doctor. But though I was very keen towards the business part of, management and business part because my dad was a businessman. Um, but I did get into medicine. I studied medicine. I enjoyed it. Finished it up with flying colors. But while I was doing my internship, I realized that it's not something that the next 40 years of my life, I wouldn't be able to do that. I like change, I like new things coming in. Is when at that point in time, this new concept of hospital administration for healthcare professionals was coming up. And I chose to take up that and not go to the conventional postgraduate programs. Is when I finished up doing my MBA in hospital administration 25 years back. And then over these years, I have learned a lot from the industry. I have been part of the healthcare. I have worked with medical insurance. I have worked with medical devices, FDA approved class three medical devices. I have worked with multi-specialty hospital from the time, laying up the bricks to getting accreditations, growing up the team from 30 people to 1,000 people. So that was a very beautiful journey that I had. And while I was doing that, again, everybody wants to find excitement in their life, and this opportunity came up that there is something. So me and my business partner, we thought of this particular concept, and our mentor was Dr. Arvind. He had lived quite some time in England, and he saw how elder care was over there, and how in India we had that big piece missing. And going forward, if you see the statistics, it's a tsunami of elder care that is going to come, right? There are going to be in 2030, there is going to be one elder in every five people. So, how are we ready? Are we ready? Are we there? What are the solutions that we can provide? So that's the opportunity that we thought about. And because there was nobody here, doing anything like that, definitely it was a very gutsy decision. It was a huge risk because, as you rightly said, we are creating a new healthcare vertical in India. So that's where we are, and we started our journey. Started small, and now we are, it's very encouraging that how we are growing from a five people company way back with one daycare center to now having six centers across five cities, having 10 senior living communities taking care of 2,500 elders, developed a care tech platform for aiding healthy aging, having a staff strength of around 1,200 people, and yet growing. So it's really humbling, and it's yet inspiring, and we are quite passionate about this particular field. Yeah, that's our journey in short. I can speak for 3 days, but I have to cut it short.
Absolutely, absolutely. You cannot culminate decades of experience in like 3 minutes. That's impossible. We understand that. But yes, I'm loving this conversation. And that's such a vivid picture, that's such a vivid image that you portrayed. It's rare to hear someone trace their journey back to such an exact moments. That's impressive.
Thank you so much, Sunny.
All right. So continuing our conversation, Dr. Reema, this is the skills lab part of the show. Real talk for operators, clinicians turned leaders, and founders trying to scale care without losing soul. So, my next question to you is when you took kites from idea to institution, what were the first three processes you hard coded, and which one did you deliberately keep fluid to learn fast?
Yeah, beautiful question. I think for anybody to grow a company, there has to be something which is not negotiable. And of course, there has to be a part of the processes which we are able to pivot and agile, while in our journey. So I think non-compromisable and non-negotiable qualities, basically what we have decided as a company is ethics, very important. Everybody needs to be ethical, think straight. And because we are working in an industry of elder care where it is out of pocket, right? So second point is affordable. Keep it affordable. No, we can't go beyond because elders, when they turn 60 or 70, they have 30 or 40 years of life to yet live, and they have to apportion that earnings that they have saved for these many years for living expenses as well as for medical expenses, right? Then the third thing is compassion, very important in this particular sector. That is something that we cannot negotiate on. So, ethics, affordable, compassion is very, very important. I may want to add one more point, which is innovative, because we did not have any previous experiences to copy from or learn from, or do the same thing over here. We had to be very innovative from the time we create our processes, the hiring of the people, training of the people, etc. That required us to be innovative. It took me, being a founder, it took me at least 3 months for me to make this paradigm shift in my head, to not think about acute care but chronic care. They're two very different aspects of medical care. In medical colleges, when we are studying or when we are practicing, we learn only acute care, but chronic care is different. Acute care is fast and superficial. Chronic care is slow and deep. And there is a lot of connection. There is a lot of um, collaborative decision making with us as well as the family. It is not my decision alone, it is a collaboration. So very important to be innovative over there too. And of course, the fluid, we have to be fluid. We run with quality. We have quality manual, we have regular audits, we have quality department. Processes has to be followed, but that process needs change repeatedly. We need to revisit the processes as we go along, because the external environment is changing. We need to change our processes too, because it will not be able to retain the tensile strength of the changes that are happening, and we may just break the processes, and people would just not be able to stick to it, right? And one more thing that we keep in mind, keeping the processes fluid, is what has been told, you do. If you want to recommend a change, you come back, we rediscuss and put in this modification. Don't do it by yourself, because we do it at a group level. We can't do it for one person or one process or one center. It has to be universal. It has to have, thought process of all the angles. So processes is something which is fluid, and ethics, affordable, compassion, and innovation are hard coded in our company.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's fascinating how you decided which processes to lock in and which to leave flexible. And I love that you are sharing the bumps along the way. It makes the journey feel so real.
Yeah, it's. I think it's all driven by passion.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. All right. So moving on to the next question, dashboards can drown you. You don't need 50 metrics, you need the right three. So if you had to run the entire elder care business on just three numbers that predict reality before it bites, which three would you choose and why?
It's so interesting that you asked me this question, because I was talking to one of my purchase head yesterday. We are a growing company, and we have leaders and we have the teams becoming bigger and bigger. And I was telling them that how they also need to innovate in how they monitor what their juniors are doing. It's very important how smart we become in ensuring that my grassroots root level is performing as we want it. And so, very interesting. What I see, I don't like to see PPTs on a monthly basis. I like to see Excel sheets, which shows me the trends from month 1 to month 12. I need to see. And the three matrix that you're talking about, very simple. Top line, the total revenue that we make. The bottom line, how much am I saving after all my expenses? And patient feedback or family feedback. So these are the three things that I pay attention to at first glance. And then, of course, we go into the micro points of all these things, that how did we expand, what was the expenses, etc. But these are the three things in bold that I would like to see. What is my top line? Is it with my budget or not? Is it my EBITDA is with my budget or not? And what is my customer talking about us? So these are the three things that I look at immediately.
And Dr. Reema, it's fascinating how you narrowed it down to the three metrics that truly predict outcomes. Hearing about the early missteps makes this so relatable. Most people never talk about that.
It's very important, Here it is very important for us to have that clarity, because this is the clarity which will go down to the people who are working for us also, and they will be able to learn, you know. So what is the point of focus? Because it is very easy for us to scatter around. It's very easy now. If we have 10 centers, if each center head is thinking in a different way and they have the different matrices, it is very confusing for us as well as for them. So, to make them think alike, to make them align to the company's vision, it is very important they have it in the same points. If I have point number one as green, they should also know that, okay, Reema is expecting point number one as green. And very funnily, I keep repeating this example with my team members is I want Kashmir apple. All of you with your experiences, help, let's walk to get the Kashmir apple. Don't go towards Himachal apple. Let's focus on one point and work towards it. So everybody knows that, okay, we are all walking towards Kashmir apple. I don't have to worry about Himachal or Washington apple at all. So that's the funny thing that we keep talking about in our workplace.
Great, great, great. Okay, so talking about technology, tech can be a superpower or a wall. So where does technology create real felt value for seniors and families in your model? And where do you draw a hard line to keep dignity and human connection front and center?
Again, a very, very wonderful question, Sunny. So now the age is technology, right? We have to keep pace with how the technology is going. So we believe technology is not the answer, but technology is the enabler for us. As you rightly said, human connection, we are in a very high touch, high feel environment, and technology can't replace that human connection, right? It cannot. But we do have certain technology helping us. For example, in our centers, we have all the electronic medical records, the billing, the stocks, etc. Everything goes through a hospital management software, so that my manpower over there is mind free of that mundane activities and spend more time with elders, right? And very consciously, again, I will give you a very small tech example. I will give you in our care centers, we have the manual medical beds, not the remote ones. I mean, every people ask us, why did you do that? I said the only reason is whenever that needs to be moved, I need to have one person coming into the room, and that person will have one kind of interaction with an uncle or an auntie. You know, so that's one reason. Uh, you know, the second, that is part in the care center part. Technology definitely helps us. How are we able to manage, how are we able to monitor, etc. And all the mundane activities are taken away from the away by the tech. There is one more beautiful tech platform that we as care providers started, was SeniorShield. We thought that, sick people are coming to us, sick seniors are coming to us, we recover them, we send them back home, and then what? Who is monitoring them? We don't know how they are doing unless they reach out for another emergency, or they have the children staying far away. How do the children keep a track on their parents? How are the parents doing? So we decided, and we did pilot and toy with an idea of sending people home, but that wasn't scalable. We would have been able to help 50, 100, 500 people. We thought, how a company staying in Bangalore can help somebody sitting in Nagpur or in Delhi? For that matter, it can be used anywhere in the world. So we as care providers thought about this particular app, which can help in healthy aging. It helps them to monitor their medical parameters. But healthy aging elders will not come to an app. They don't want to feel sick. They will not keep coming back that, okay, I have to enter my vital parameter over there. So we said, how can we make this app more interesting? So we added engagement platform to it. Engagement platform, we provide them with volunteering opportunities, job opportunities, depending upon what their past was, specially curated articles, bite-sized articles for them, that okay, new weather is coming, what should the precaution you should take, or motivational messages, etc. They can also write their stories in it and put it over there. They can also put in their bite-sized information, inspiring other elders to be happy. And this also helps in removing social isolation and a lot of human connection. Then we also said, let's make it a little more interesting, and we put in a little bit of e-commerce also over there, where we curate items and put it over there what elders want. They don't have to get lost in the millions of products going into any online site, but coming to us that okay, specifics which is required for you are there. So we believe that, very rightly said, it should not become intimidating. The tech should not become intimidating. It has to be simple, it has to be usable, and it has to be affordable. And that is why we surround ourselves with tech to help us make life simpler, rather than just for giving us a glamour that, oh, we are adopting tech. No, we are not adopting tech for the glamour part of it, but how can we use it to our benefit, increase our efficiency, and increase the whole reason of our existence is seniors, right? How are we able to make this difference in their life and add value to their life? So that's what the tech for us is.
Incredible, Dr. Reema. And it's, truly how you pinpointed where technology truly adds value versus where it cannot replace human presence. So that's incredible. That's incredible.
Thanks, Ari. Yeah, we're just in the beginning of our journey, lots to go. There are lots of, people ask us this, what is your biggest challenge? What keeps you awake at night? I just say that it's just a lot of things that we have look forward to do keeps me awake. Not any tension, but oh, I can do this, I can do that, and there's so many things that is there in the senior section that we can do is what keeps us awake, and also sometimes confuses us. Which should I pick and which should I leave for now? Prioritizing in our head becomes very very important at that point in time.
Okay. So let's move ahead and let's. So this part of our podcast is called Rapid Fire Round. We have done the heavy lifting, strategy, governance, scale, everything. Now let's vibe check time. It's quick answers, instinctive answers, no filters, just whatever first comes to your mind. All right. So shall
I
we?
will try. I
Okay.
think this will be the first time that I'm doing any rapid fire.
All right.
So
There is
give me a
always
little
first
bit
come,
of
first
leeway,
served,
okay,
right?
Sunny?
Right. Okay. So first question: if your
Would I
life
get a cup at the end of it?
uh,
Signed cup by you?
depends upon your answers.
Okay. All right.
But you surely are a winner.
Thank you so much.
All right. So here I should do the first question. If your life were a movie, what's the title?
Jhansi ki Rani.
Okay, amazing. What a start. All right. One thing that's always in your work bag, even on a Sunday.
Laptop.
Okay. A line you say so often your team can finish it for you.
Focus on the Kashmir apple.
Kind of a takia kalam, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Okay. Next question. The most unexpected place you have taken a critical work call or made a key decision.
Oh, okay, that's a tricky one. Key decision. Yes, in fact, I keep taking decisions very frequently. And yesterday I took one. Very simple one, very, very mundane one. But, we have this culture of wearing casuals on Friday. And yesterday I stopped it for the people who are customer facing in the units because, when anybody's coming to meet you, you should look like a professional, not like going for a movie. So that's one decision I took yesterday. I do this very often, every day. So it's difficult for me to pinpoint that one particular point.
Okay. All right. If healthcare wasn't the path, what wildly different career would you try?
Business.
Okay.
I'm in it.
One food you absolutely can't resist no matter the hour.
Rice. I
Okay.
love rice.
All right. A song that snaps you out of a tough day instantly.
It's a lovely day by Bill Withers.
Absolutely. Gem. Great. If you could swap lives with one historical figure for 24 hours, whose name you would pick?
Um, Indira Gandhi.
Wow, that was unexpected. Okay. All right. The last question
See,
of
Jhansi Ki Rani, Indira Gandhi, and my name, Reema, means Durga. So,
yeah, right. Okay. Great. So last question of the rapid fire round. Funniest or most unexpected thing a family or colleague has said to you in a meeting.
uh, uh, unexpected thing. I'm sorry, Sunny. I'm not able to come up with that. I'm not able to come up with that. I think
You
I'm very
have to answer this
predictable.
if you want to win the cup. You have
Oh,
to.
I have to answer that, right? Um, yeah, yesterday one of my colleagues said, we were my quality team came in with a trophy. They got a trophy because we got NABH and we were one of the early adapters of the NABH. And she wanted to take a picture with me. And one of my sales colleague came in and I said something to her. She said, Dr. Reema, I think you should switch to sales. I said, yeah, I can do sales well. So that I think that was unexpected. Yeah, I can convince people well, I think.
Okay. So, ta-da! You are the winner. You are the winner. You are the winner.
Thank you.
But that was absolute blast, Dr. Reema. Rapid fire always reveals the human core. And yours is equal part grit and good vibes.
Yeah, I think so. I had fun too, Sunny. And you made this whole very comfortable. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. And I'm loving this conversation with you. But now let's talk about the challenges that the industry faces.
Yeah.
Fraud in care ops doesn't smash windows; it slips in through side doors. Falsified clinical or service records, copy paste notes, impossible timestamps, duplicate billing, ghost visits, and over under invoicing or circular procurement on devices and consumables. So, what are the earliest human or system red flags you watch for? And once suspicion is triggered, what's your our one containment playbook to freeze exposure, protect patients, and communicate transparently without eroding trust?
Very, very intelligent question that you're asking me. And it is like a hidden formula. I'm giving you my secret sauce. Yeah. So, as I had told earlier, the way we train, hire, and train people, what has been told to them is bill ethically. If you can't explain a number, discount it. Part number one to the patients. Uh, there are certain departments in the company which I yet have direct control on. Anything which requires money flow, right? Whether it is the talent acquisition, whether it is purchase and procurement, I keep a tab on that. And of course, my top line and bottom line. And the reason I look at it in an Excel because I see the trend. I see the occupancy numbers, I see the trend. I have a proportion in my head. Something goes wrong, I'm immediately, able to go back. And these are the mandates. These are the KPIs and the KRAs that are given to the people. That when these things, these matrices show a little bit of wavering, unless it is explained, I will look at it. It may have a genuine reason. It may also have a lack of training, etc. So we look at it, but definitely it is first thing is diagnosis, and then we go in for the management. So that's one part that I look at it. Yeah, this is very important. So these are the, as I said, anything which has to be doable repeatedly, it has to be simple. Stick to basics, do simple processes so that people are able to understand you well and adapt it. So I keep a check on all these things on a daily basis. There are certain things, as we grow higher, there are the mundane operations that we have to move back because we have to think strategic. But if we are able to have 4 or 5 points looking at it on a daily basis, we're able to keep a check. And when you are asking questions to people, they know that somebody is watching, right? So I think keeping a check, often on questioning and answering, not that you're showing a lack of trust in your team, but the team also can get complacent. And to just jumpstart them, it is important for us to keep asking these questions to them. Yeah.
Absolutely, Dr. Reema. And it's fascinating how you combine human intuition with system monitoring to spot early red flags. Hearing about the
Yeah,
initial,
intuition is very, very important. And the data, of course, is. And fortunately, I'm blessed with a, if I may call it, a good gut or a bad gut, whatever works for people. That yeah, intuition definitely helps. And Steve Jobs also mentioned about this intuitive thinking, very important. And if you have read the book, uh, what was that book? Thinking Fast and Slow, right? It talks about system one and system two thinking. It's very important that we understand our superficial consciousness and deep consciousness and analytical thinking, etc. That helps us. This is something that we need to develop over a period of time.
yeah, all right. Okay, so that brings us to the last question of the podcast. And, stepping into a leadership role comes with its own set of challenges and opportunities. Directors Institute is designed to support leaders in navigating this journey with confidence and purpose. So, what inspired you to join, and how has the experience shaped your growth and future as a leader?
I love to keep myself abreast with new things that are coming up. Learning, I think, is something which is constant. Uh, Last year, I finished my second MBA from ISB because I just needed to learn what the millennials and the Gen Zs are thinking. And those are the people force that we have to work with. And I can't be thinking a 25-year-old process for, in 2025. So I finished that. And of course, by virtue of being a founder of a company and, I am a director already in two, three, four companies, but I don't know what is the formal training of a director. I have just become a director, but what is a director supposed to do? What are the things that we should actually be doing? And, you know, learning from the right is very, very important. Like, I'm glad that, when I became a doctor, I didn't, all respect, no offense to any other doctor, but what I saw is people mind their seniors, right? People forget what they have learned in the college. And thankfully, in my life, I didn't have to work with any senior in medical profession. So my medicine in my head is my what I have learned, and that is what I'm trying to push as care delivery in our place also. That do what is we are supposed to do, not what my senior has taught me to do. Similarly, it's very important to learn from the right people. We see and observe a lot of directors around us, but of course, there are the times questions that why is this person saying this? I don't think this is right. I don't think it is working for the company. I may be working for one or two people, but overall, it is not showing that. So, what is the right thing that a director should think? Is when I decided that I needed to do a director's program, and I did go through IIM's courses, and of course, being an ISB alum, I looked into that also, and then I came across the World Directors Forum, and I saw the curriculum and the way that things were being done. I liked the vastness in this, in this particular curriculum that got me to it. So yeah, I think it's proving to be helping me. I'm sure I have gone through some part of the course. I've not finished the entirety, but whatever I have done, it gives me a lot of insights into what a real director's JD is and what is something else could be expected of me, but consciously, if I'm a director in any company, what value I can add from my perspective, which will be good for the company, not for specific people or processes. Yeah.
That really helps me understand what drew you to Directors Institute. The stakes are so real, and it's fascinating how those early insights reshaped your approach to leadership and decision making.
Yeah, very important to keep learning and keep learning right.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so that is all for now, I guess. And what an incredible conversation we had today with Dr. Reema Nadig. Uh, we have explored so much from the chaos of day one at Kites to the tough calls in scaling with heart, balancing tech and touch, and leading with integrity in a space where trust literally saves lives. So, to everyone listening, here's what I hope you take away. Leadership is messy, scaling is hard, and care is deeply personal. But when you combine strategy, courage, and empathy, you can literally create a new future for an entire industry. So, Dr. Reema, thank you so much for sharing your story, your lessons, and your heart with us today.
Thank you so much. It was a blast being on this chat to Sunny, and thank you for your questions. The best part was my first attempt on the rapid fire.
Thank you so much. And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in to FaceTime with Leaders, powered by Directors Institute, World Council of Directors. If you found this episode as inspiring as I did, hit follow, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and stay tuned because every leader has a story, and every story can change how we lead. Until next time, keep leading with vision and humanity. Thank you so much and have a nice day.